Alright, welcome back. Or welcome if it's your first time, I don't care. Look, point is I got a mission from my boss to teach you guys something since the other guy's on vacation, so we're gonna try to make this quick. Apparently, since it's my job to go around a lot of places and have a large list of names, I gotta go over this lecture of how to name things. Alright, let's see these instructions. Looks like he wants you to know that you should strategize your world and the locations you're gonna put in. The more stuff you have, the more stuff you gotta name, and you might go through like 6 aneurysms just to get it done. Also, you put more work on me, and I don't like that. Make it slow, make it nice. Let me travel to not so many locations. How about that? Alright, when you're genuinely naming these things, it's a good idea to reflect it off the environment if you can, but if not, no worries. Think of something kinda creative and cool. Make sure it rolls on the tongue nicely, and it sounds dope when you tell someone to go to Stoneclaw City or go to Tailfire Village. Point is, you want it to sound nice. Make sure you say the word 3 times in a row to see if it sounds lame or sounds cool. As far as deciding on the name for itself, however, we're going to go ahead and go over that. And the first lesson is to find a bunch of words that you like in general. Go around your favorite fantasy literature or your favorite authors or games and just look for those cities and villages that you're like, damn, that does sound cool. Once you've sketched out your world and picked out your favorite words, you're going to go ahead and write them in a list. And the best thing you can do is divide them between the suffix and the prefix. Let me show you what that's like. First of all, go ahead and open up your book. Now what you want to do is start writing down a list of those cool locations that you saw before. Then, the next thing is to start splitting them into the prefix and the suffix. Once you have that, you can pretty much combine them in any way you want to make a new unique word for yourself. Do this multiple times and eventually you'll have a list like this. Once again, now start combining the prefixes and the suffixes till you get something that sounds nice to you. This is a nice system to grab the words that are pretty catchy, but not to exactly copy things from games and movies and things you've seen before. You're grabbing the cool catchy words and separating them and putting them in different combinations, kind of like a Rubik's Cube. Now, the thing to take about this, though, is that if you wanted to dive into the next branch of it, it's fantasy naming in general, and that's our typically 1 words or 2 words things that can either be in English or your own made-up language for whatever Elvish, Dwarvish, and Orcish sound like. At least for the baseline I've seen, typically if you're going to use an Orcish name, it's usually going to have a harsh word and apostrophe like Kragosh, but if you have an Elven name, it might be soft and exotic like Ithvel. Then you got dwarven names that can sound really cool and hit a nice theme like Stonehelm or Hammerforge. For that part though, you're for the most part coming up with the name yourself, so there's not really a guide to that as much as it is creativity, but don't be afraid to use other language that you make up for the names. It sounds cool. Might be hard for the players to pronounce and for me to go find it, but it is cool. Really cool. Using the prefixes and suffixes, though, don't just fall in naming locations, but you can use them for items as well. Or even people. Take a list of first names and last names that you like in fantasy writing and put those together. Or for items, some cool sounding names like Frostmourne or Ashbringer from WoW. You could grab those up and once again, prefix, suffix, mix and match. This is going to be a really nice way to create a lot of content for yourself because you're not going to get tied back by the writing. Sometimes naming things is the hardest part, and with this, it should hopefully alleviate it, if even a little. Now, with that, I hope it helps you overall and get out there and do some writing. I'm going to go figure out a name for the video. Oh boy.